Okay, so part three of the How to Survive with Nothing series, and I'm definitely gonna do some kind of series with this. Maybe I'll even go out and make some demonstration videos. That would be cool. That would be a lot of fun. So I left off talking about you know if you're in a really bad survival situation. It's not like camping or like your plane crashed somewhere and you're going out looking for help. That's what most people think when they think survival. They think, oh, they got stranded somewhere. If you got stranded somewhere and you're lost and you need to forage for food or hunt for food and get back to civilization. That's rough, but a rougher situation, which I'm addressing here, is one where you're in essentially a what they call in the military. I've never, just for record, I've never served in the military, and I'm not a veteran, so I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea from these videos that this knowledge is from service. This knowledge is from other venues, other areas, mostly just my own research. That's all. So, the really what I was gonna say is in the military there's an acronym called SERE, and there's a kind of training called SERE training that is usually reserved for special operations, and they what they do is they train to escape like POW camps after being severely, sleep deprived, food deprived, hydration deprived, deprived of most anything. And the psychology is a big aspect of it. The instructors will do a lot of work to like grind someone down psychologically and to humiliate them, because that's what will actually happen to you most times in a situation where you're captured by an enemy. And that kind of training is applicable not only to people who are soldiers fighting in a war for a country, it's also applicable to just anyone, any civilian, because anyone can be a victim of kidnapping, whether it be for organ trafficking, for sex trafficking, you got into a dispute with someone, or it's just someone uh, looking to kidnap and torture someone for their own sick pleasure. There's all kinds of sickos out in the world, all kinds of evil people, all kinds of nuts. So regardless of who you are, what you do, this kind of mindset is useful. So that's the worst kind of survival situation, and it's the one that a lot of people they ignore. A lot of videos on YouTube, they don't talk about surviving a situation like that. They talk about maybe like I've seen like a video from a Navy SEAL, for example, ex Navy SEAL veteran, not ex Navy SEAL. You're never ex Navy SEAL. You're just a veteran, who said who gave a couple of tips on like evading and escaping capture, basically like on the way there or wherever. That can happen, but you know, chances are that if the people are good at what they're doing, capturing people, then you're not going to escape, and they're going to be watching you 24/7, especially during the snatch and grab portion. So this stuff doesn't really go into like serious detail. So another consideration that I want to touch upon before I go into what this part's going to be about, which is mostly this is going to be about mentality, and then I'm going to touch upon some other things, because this video right now is just like a stream of consciousness. I'm not looking at a script here. I don't have like pre-planned ideas for these videos. I'm kind of going off the cuff here. So when a person like or group kidnaps you, if they have either access to sophisticated technology or they are a sophisticated group, like a military group, foreign, domestic, whatever, wherever country you're from, they may give you a vaccination, and that will usually be a tracking chip. In general, do not accept any kind of vaccination, refuse it, fight them, make sure the needle doesn't get in you. It probably will, though. And after you escape, one of the things that you can do to avoid a tracking chip from working, a very simple thing, is think about, you have two kinds of signals, two primary kinds of signals used. You have radar and you have sonar. So radar is used by transmission of signal. The wave goes, and then the device sends a signal back as soon as the signal is received. Sonar works more like echolocation. So a tracking chip can be stopped by submerging yourself in water, at least the part. Usually they'll chip you like in the forearm or in the hand, or possibly in the head. In the head if they're smart. But you can stop it from working by submerging yourself in water. If you can't do that, there's a couple ways to deactivate a tracking chip. Demagnetization, if you can find a demagnetization unit, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to find a microwave transmission dish, on a radar relay that has a strong microwave signal coming off of it, and you can usually tell what kind of dish is a microwave relay dish, because it'll have a magnetron on the arm that has the signal repeater aimed toward the dish to bounce the signal off the parabolic dish and send it. And if you can put the limb or head like in the range of that disc for a little bit, if the signal is strong enough, it will most likely at least damage the chip. Possibly won't do anything, but it's worth a shot. And you want to try everything. Digging it out, of course, that's another option if you have the guts for it. And if you find a knife or a sharp implement, a piece of glass or sharp rock or whatever, and it's close to the skin, just dig until you find it, and then be done with it. That's probably the best option, actually, instead of just disabling it, because if you can manage to dig out a tracking chip and then say stick it to an animal or a car, and then that animal or car goes off on its way, then you'll be able to fool your pursuers. So But this is actually, I don't have much space on my phone. This ended up being longer, so I didn't get a chance to really touch upon the psychology of this. So this is going to be actually more about just, you know, modern tracking technology rather than psychological aspects of survival. So yeah, there's many ways to get a chip deactivated. There are also certain dietary changes you can make where your immune system might start basically attacking and chelating heavy metals. So if you go look up heavy metal chelation, there are like complex things that you can take that'll cause your body to naturally start removing heavy metals containing that are contained in tracking chips, and so your body will basically eat it through cellular autophagy, which is basically the way that the body naturally gets rid of senescent cells, which are like dead cells, and waste products and toxins and things like that. So there are certain synthetic chemical compounds that you can take that'll help your body chelate heavy metals, and then your body will basically disintegrate the tracking chip, and you'll excrete the elemental components of it as a waste product. Now that process is great to do like as a protocol before you get in a situation like this, and maybe after as a treatment for after having been a captive, especially if you were injected. But as far as like getting rid of a tracking chip, in the process of escaping your captors, best solution is to temporarily submerge the part where it was chipped into water and stay there for a while so signal gets lost. Well, not stay in that part of the water. You should swim somewhere else, and especially if it's a river, you should swim alongside the river, and just keep moving as far as you can until it gets too cold, and then leave and continue evasion. So that's going to be the end of this. I'll be making a part 4. Bye.